हम लाइव जा रहे हैं YouTube पे भी. So those who are connected, if just let me know, is my audio video clear or not? Is my audio video clear or not? If it is clear, just write clear in the chat box, please. अगर ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर है तो प्लीज क्लियर लिख दीजिए चैट बॉक्स पे. लाइव जा रहे हैं YouTube पे भी. So those who are connected, okay. Is the audio video clear? Is audio video clear? Clear है तो यार clear लिख दीजिए फटाफट. Right? If the audio video is clear, फटाफट write the clear in the chat box. साई कह रहे हैं clear. Okay, साई कह रहे हैं clear. Okay. अदर्स बता दीजिए बाकी लोग जो कनेक्टेड हैं, और जो YouTube से कनेक्टेड हैं क्लियर लिख दीजिए. जो Zoom से कनेक्टेड हैं प्लीज वीडियोस ऑन कर लीजिए फटाफट. हमको आपके चेहरे देख रहे हैं यार, हसीन चेहरे. कौन है वो लोग जो गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स करने वाले हैं, PSUs में जाने वाले हैं? विल गेट अ बेटर क्लैरिटी. राइट. डोंट वरी, विल डिस्कस द डाउट्स एट द एंड. डाउट्स हम लोग एंड में डिस्कस करेंगे. सभी टेंशन हम पे छोड़ दीजिए. Great. So a lot of mentors are also going to be joining in today's session. Those who are working at PSUs or those who have good experience of a PSUs, right? तो उन mentors से भी आपको मिलने का मौका मिलेगा, right? हाँ, not interested in PSU, don't want to hear the views. Okay, not a problem. Great. So before we start the session, just wanted to know from all of you guys, which PSU is your favorite PSU, या which government company is your favorite government company? Just write down the name. Just write down the name in the chat box. We'll be happy to read the same. लिख दो, आज लिख ही दीजिए. Which government company is your favorite company? अच्छा, कोई बीजेपी बोल दिया गलती से. ठीक है. Okay. Which government company is your favorite company? BPCL, IOCL. Okay. Got it. IOCL, BPCL. IOCL के हमारे मेंटर कनेक्ट हो चुके हैं. प्रणव भाई के चेहरे पे स्माइल देख के मैं अच्छा लगा मुझे. प्रणव सर बोले कि हाँ चलो यार, मेरी कंपनी का नाम लिख दिया किसी ने. ओके, बेल, RBI. ओके, IOCL. ओके, अच्छा, सब प्रणव सर को अब इम्प्रेस करने में लगे हुए हैं. ओके, CCI. ओके. ऑल द PSUs, LICs. अच्छा, कोई कह रहा है जॉब मिल जाए वही बहुत है. PSU तो ठीक है. राइट. ओके, गॉट इट. नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. कुछ भी चलेगी. अंशुल कह रहा है कुछ भी चलेगी. अंशुल, ओके अंशुल, टेंशन नहीं लेने का. पावर ग्रिड, NTPC. गॉट इट. राइट. सो वन ऑफ द बिगर प्रॉब्लम in which I identified when I was planning for this session, right? And one of the bigger thing which I noticed was कि ठीक है, government jobs, most of you will find it out, most of you will try to find it out, right? But the bigger problem is that कि सर जॉब मिलेगी कहाँ से for a PSUs? Where to find it out? Where to apply? How to apply? Whom to approach? When to approach? How many of you feel this is a problem? How many of you feel this is a problem? If you feel this, I just feel in a chat box so that we'll try to solve the same. Padam sir has also joined. Padam bhai, kaise ho?
बढ़िया यार शिवम.
Yes. Great. Good to see you joining in. Right. So Padam bhai and I am going to be solving this bigger problem. How many of you feel this is a problem? Sir, समझ में नहीं आता कहाँ वैकेंसी आई, कब आई, कैसे आई. It's like आके चली भी गई. Sir, I didn't know this. Right. We have tried to prepare very good content for you guys so that we can help you out with this. Okay, got it. So most of you have this problem. So let me divide this into the two major parts. Right. Or is there any reservations? Yes, again, we'll be discussing all those things out. Don't worry. Right. Okay, now I divided this into the two major parts. I'll share my screen in a while. Okay, Pradam bhai, if you feel like adding something, please add kar lena. I think Pranav bhai is also there. Pranav, if you feel like adding on something, please do add on something. Right? So government jobs का find करने के लिए दो तरीके हैं. Number one, to join the PSUs. Multiple places we will be able to find out the PSUs. Right? ICI campus placements. ICI campus placements में every time some of the PSUs we will be able to find it out. Second, job postings over the websites. This is not the PSU website. PSU website I've covered it separately. There are some of the websites which I was able to find it out जहाँ पे collated job vacancies आपको मिल जाती है PSUs के लिए. I'll try to showcase it to you guys and मैं literally open करके भी दिखाऊंगा कि कैसे job vacancies find out करना. जिसे genuinely job चाहिए ना, थोड़ा सा attentive रहना. By the end of the session क्या पता you might get job offers in PSU also. right? Third is the career website of that PSU, and fourth is a newspaper, right? तो fourth is a newspaper. These are the four places जहां से आपको PSUs में मिल जाएगा. प्रणव भाई, if you do you think इसके अलावा और कोई another sources are there?
I think just one which you said कि ना the websites of IOCL itself है ना, मतलब उसमें वो लोग post करते हैं, और the website of that PSU. Apart from that, yeah, I think these are the major sources.
Okay, got it. So campus में again, campus में shortlisting is not in your hand, and a company will shortlist you, right? Point number one, you will give a consent and then you will give an interview. ये कुछ लोगों के हाथ में है, कुछ लोगों के हाथ में नहीं है, तो it's not in your hand. What is in your hand is this three, है ना? This three is the most important thing. So we'll be discussing about this also and this three also. So campus placements, you will find a lot of companies which are going to be participating. Other lists are also there, but mainly oil companies आपको दिखेगी, BPCL, HPCL, ONGC, right? And other PFCs which are there, right? Detailed list can be shared. I have prepared the detailed list of companies which are going to be there. Don't worry. Now coming to the most important thing, websites which I was able to find it out. ठीक है, मैंने ये फाइंड आउट किया है. इट माइट बी करेक्ट, माइट नॉट बी करेक्ट, बट आई ट्राइड टू फाइंड आउट द जॉब फ्रॉम दिस वेबसाइट एंड आई वाज एबल टू एक्सट्रैक्ट दिस आउट. ठीक है, तो मेरे पास दो वेबसाइट्स मिली है. एक वेबसाइट में मैं जाता हूँ, हाउ आई वाज एबल टू फाइंड इट आउट, आई विल जस्ट शोकेस इट टू यू गाइस. मीनवाइल यू कैन जस्ट नोट इट डाउन द लिंक ऑफ द वेबसाइट. आई विल आल्सो शेयर द लिंक ऑफ अ वेबसाइट इन अ चैट बॉक्स. दोज हु आर कनेक्टेड, एक बार चाहिए तो आप इस लिंक्स पे भी चले जा सकते हैं, राइट? आई हैव शेयर्ड द लिंक इन द चैट बॉक्स फॉर द पीपल कनेक्टेड ओवर Zoom एज वेल एज YouTube. जो भी कनेक्टेड है, आई हैव शेयर्ड द लिंक ऑफ दिस वेबसाइट. अब देखो, मैं इस वेबसाइट के लिंक पे जाके आई विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द सेम. आई विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द सेम, राइट? आई विल गो टू दिस वेबसाइट. जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड. आई विल गो टू दिस वेबसाइट लिंक, राइट? यहाँ पे मैं गया. What I did was, अगेन यहाँ पे बहुत सारी एडवर्टीजमेंट आएगी, जस्ट इग्नोर इट. लेट्स सी. देखो, कैन यू सी दिस, है ना? भारत इलेक्ट्रिकल्स पे दे आर मेंशनिंग दैट देयर इज अ जॉब वैकेंसी फॉर अ फ्रेशर, फॉर अ मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी. Now, what second step which you need to do is that, second step what I found out is that, let's copy this out. And let's go to the Bharat Electricals Limited career page. वहां पे जाओगे ना, it's going to be very, very खिचड़ी, right? Let's go to the career page of that company. Right? आजा भाई, आजा. So you'll be able to find out. हाँ, यही है. ओपन किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी, ठीक है, मैंने ऑलरेडी देख लिया था, तो दिस इज ओपन. यू विल ओपन द सेम पेज आउट. इसको जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कर लो, कंफर्म कर लो, सबमिट. द टाइम यू डू दिस आउट, यू विल फाइंड द फर्स्ट जॉब वैकेंसीज फॉर द एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स व्हिच आर देयर, राइट? द टाइम यू ओपन दिस आउट, यू विल गेट अ डिटेल्ड डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर द जॉब वैकेंसीज व्हिच आर देयर, राइट? यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, बट दिस इज फॉर द सेमी क्वालिफाइड इंटर पास आउट के लिए, राइट? दिस इज वन ऑफ द जॉब वैकेंसीज व्हिच इज देयर फॉर अ इंटर पास आउट. सो एक मैंने देखा, इन अ सिमिलर वे, वंस यू स्टार्ट स्क्रोलिंग दिस आउट, यहाँ पे आपको बहुत सारी वैकेंसीज मिलेगी फॉर द सीएस एंड स्टफ. द ओनली एफर्ट व्हिच यू नीड टू मेक इज दैट you need to go to their website and find it out. That is the effort which you need to do. Right? In the similar way, lot of companies like accountants and all this, right? So इसमें भी let's try this out. Only 2 days are left. You can go to this, है ना, Central Electronics Limited. यहाँ से आप कॉपी कीजिए, इनकी वेबसाइट पे जाइए, करियर पेज पे. The time you go here, you will be able to find out some vacancies which are there, right? Can you see this? यहाँ पे इन्होंने डाला हुआ है. Just let me download this out. Once it is downloaded, it's going to be open. Right? Can you see this? यहाँ पे कुछ vacancies यहाँ पे CA का डाला हुआ था. Account officer, chartered accountant, right? Chartered accountant. The only thing is that efforts are going to be needed. That is a problem, right? I don't know how many of you will be able to do this out, but if you track this type of websites, यहाँ से देखो मेरे को मिल गई भाई, right? I'll be able to find it out. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे you can just read it out कि क्या सीन है, but they are asking with the 2 years of post-year qualifications and experiences as out, right? So this is one of the vacancies which I was able to find it out, but just by looking at to this, यहाँ से आप क्लिक करोगे, you'll end up getting into multiple websites, interviews and all this. इसका भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हो, not a problem. Just copy the name. अब मैं इस पे क्लिक करूंगा तो बहुत ज्यादा एडवर्टीजमेंट आना चालू हो जाएगा, राइट? तो यहाँ पे कितना पोजीशन है? 9 फाइनेंस अकाउंट्स एंड मैनेजर पोजीशन है, राइट? तो यू कैन जस्ट गो इन देयर, right? You can just check it out. यहाँ पे some of the walk-in interviews which is there conducted by Central Sanskrit University. ठीक है, the only thing effort, right? I've given you the link. Link कहाँ मिलेगा सर? Link मैंने chat box पे share किया है, which is there. Experience is a problem. Yes, experience will be a problem, but few vacancies will be able to find it out, which is for fresher. I think Padam bhai ne ek do job ढूंढी थी, right? Padam, I think you were able to find out some of the vacancies, right, for the freshers. Which company was that?
Yes, it was DTC, Delhi
DTC.
Transport Corporation.
Acha, let me open
I
that.
shared that.
DTC. Okay,
That,
careers.
yes. I think I've shared it on WhatsApp with you.
Acha, you shared it in WhatsApp. Let's find it out from the portal itself. I think this is the link, right? DTC का.
Yes.
Okay, let's find it out. कहाँ थी पता नहीं.
CTC. Someone is asking for CTC job.
अच्छा, someone is asking CTC. Okay. भाई government job मिल रही है, इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए, right? Which one was the job which you found out?
I think the first manager. No, that accounts manager. It was the post.
अच्छा, ठीक है, not a problem. So what I'll try to do is that I'll try to share that document with all of you guys. Document ही मैं share कर देता हूँ in a chat box, right? Or you can just try to check it out.
Shivam, one more thing should be added in this list. That would be YouTube. Because क्या होता है, हमको यहाँ पे सब जगह जाके ढूंढना है. That we have to search कि vacancy आई या नहीं आई.
Got it.
And job posting उस चीज को तभी डालेगी जब गवर्नमेंट उनको पे कर रहा है कि आप मुझे एम्प्लॉइज दिलाओ. But what happens is government, if कोई vacancy vacant है and nobody is applying, they will try to depute someone from other organization. तो ऐसा वो जॉब बोर्ड्स को ऑफर नहीं करते कि आप नौकरी पे लिस्ट करो या इंडीड पे लिस्ट करो, तो वो वहां नहीं मिलेगी. So better ways, some of the YouTubers make the videos for especially PSUs. They can subscribe to them and it will automatically come to them. But again, the problem is that कि जैसे मैंने जो अभी this one, if they apply for this one, they have to wait. It will not come in a month or in 2 months. The first online exam will come after 3 to 4 months. Like I gave the exam for Power Grid, it came almost 2.5 months. The online test was there after 2.5 months. So it is always advisable कि आप पहले कहीं पे secured job ले लो किसी भी डोमेन में जहाँ पे आपका इंटरेस्ट है, and then try to search it out. Because if you are sitting for PSU, आपका टाइम जा रहा है, आपका एनर्जी जा रहा है, आप पैसे भी अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट वेस्ट कर रहे हो. So it is quite logical to have a job first and then search for the PSUs.
Got it. Perfectly fine. मतलब you edited it correctly. तो first source मैंने एक वेबसाइट का लिंक बताया, वहां पे आपको मिल जाएगा. In a similar way, lot of other website links are there. I'll just try to share over again a chat box, right? जो Zoom पे है और YouTube पे है. You can just check the chat box out. This is also a similar website through which you'll be able to find out some of the vacancies, find out the company name कहाँ पे CA fresher का vacancies है, right? और chartered accountants का vacancies है. This is not only for the freshers, right? It's a long term. क्या पता 10 साल बाद 15 साल बाद again you'll be able to find it out, right? Also one of the way where lot of vacancies you'll be able to find it out through the PSU's career portal page में, right? तो सबसे पहले तो हमें कौन-कौन से PSUs है वही नहीं पता होते हैं. So what you can also do is that you can just Google it out, list of PSUs. You'll be able to get it out. What I've done some of the good work in my life for you guys. I've tried to collate some of the PSUs which are there, जहाँ पे मुझे थोड़ी ज़्यादा hiring दिखती है, तो you can just also take a screenshot of the same. इसके अलावा other PSUs are also there, right? So if you feel like, so you can just type it over a Google list of PSUs so that you'll be able to find it over the career page. Career page को track करते रहना है और the list of websites which I've shared वहाँ से भी आपको मिल जाएगा. जो connected है, if you want to take a SS screenshot ले लीजिए, I don't have a problem. ठीक है. इसके अलावा other companies are also there, but this I am able to find it out. ठीक है. Next is a newspaper advertisements. Again, you need to keep a track on the newspaper advertisements which are there. इसके अलावा few areas or places where you can also go for the jobs like giving a UPSC, RBI exams and SEBI exams and other exams which are there. We'll have a separate session on the same. UPSC से कैसे होगा, RBI से कैसे होगा, right? SEBI से कैसे होगा. That is something which you can cover it separately. Now coming to, yes, don't worry, we'll cover all those things out. Now coming to the most important discussion for the today's session, right? We have a mentor, Pranav bhai, who has been connected with us. He has been working with IOCL for almost 3 odd years or more than 3 odd years, right? So I can feel like he'll be perfect guide or a mentor to guide you कि भाई होता क्या है पहले. Let's understand why PSU, number one. Let's understand who should get into this. Let's understand what is the culture there. Let's understand that what is a growth trajectory. तभी तो जाने का मजा आएगा, right? So एक बार I'll request every one of you to please unmute yourself and give a round of applause for Pranav. जोरदार तालियों से प्रणव भाई का स्वागत कीजिए। वीडियो ऑन करके एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए यार, उनके घर तक आवाज पहुंचा दीजिए आज। ग्रेट। Okay, thanks Pranav bhai for joining in for the session. Right, I would like to share your experience, your journey with IOCL, what work you did, what was your experience with PSU, how did you got shortlisted, everything, matlab, which you feel like sharing.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Shivam, for having me on this call. So I think one thing which I would want to hear from everyone whosoever is looking for a job in PSU, if in one or two word, if they can define why do they want a job in PSU, what is their main driving motto? PSU में
Right.
क्यों आना? If you can write on the chat box, I just want to see कि लोगों का क्या expectation रहता है. Okay, work-life balance, job security.
ये सदस्य from a YouTube live, please chat पे डालिए, हम लोग को पढ़ना है कि why you want to join PSU.
Why you would want to come to PSU? Okay, work-life, job security, दो चीज दिखाया मेरे को तक.
Job security, brand, work-life balance.
Brand as in I guess बहुत के पापा मम्मी रिलेटिव्स में रहता है कि हाँ सरकारी नौकरी है तो वो एक ब्रांड शायद.
लड़की मिल जाएगी, लड़की.
Accounts profile. Okay, someone has a account profile with a heart. Okay, great. कौन सा ट्रांसफर है? ओके, someone has directly identified. सर लड़का मिल जाएगा. ओके, लड़की लड़का दोनों. Nice. Woman can continue even after marriage. This point I will be discussing. Woman can continue even after marriage. Okay, ये point को discuss करेंगे थोड़ा. आराम से काम करना बिना कोई टेंशन के. Work life balance, good for woman. Okay, good decent pay. ये वाला एक point को आज touch अपन मेरे को remind करवाना शिवम. That woman play कैसा experience रहता है. That I would be okay. Good decent pay, job security. ठीक है.
प्रणव भाई थोड़ा सा I think आपका वॉल्यूम कम आ रहा है, थोड़ा सा वॉइस इज लो.
अच्छा.
Yes.
कर लेता हूँ. अभी ठीक है क्या?
Yes. Okay.
ठीक है. Okay. I was just saying कि मेरे को रिमाइंड करवाना for the woman aspect I will be covering specifically good decent पे job security. ठीक है. I got a gist of major. It is about decent having a good pay and having a job security and work life balance. Okay. So I'll just start with my own journey of being in PSU. मैं shortlisting से start करूँगा अपना. That how the shortlisting process was, how I got into it, and first year, second year, third year को थोड़ा briefly cover करेंगे, and what are my views upon pros and cons. उसको वैसे रखते हैं. Pros and cons में I'll be covering. So shortlisting, the voice is fine ना? Give me
Yeah, perfectly audible, perfectly fine.
Okay, ठीक. So shortlisting thing as हमने sources में देखा IUCL campus placement, उसी के through I was shortlisted, and in case of PSU they have प्रीडिटरमिन्ड का कट ऑफ परसेंटेज कि उनको सबसे पहले तो रहता है कि उनके वैकेंसीज कितने हैं. मे बी दे आर लाइक 30 वैकेंसी. इन माय केस आई एम थिंक देयर वर 30 वैकेंसीज. 30 वैकेंसीज में दे हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड रिजर्वेशंस. तो 30 वैकेंसी आप सोचो कि दे हैव रिजर्वेशंस फॉर ओबीसी, अदर बैकवर्ड कास्ट, एससी, एसटी एंड अदर पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी एक रहता है, एंड देन दे हैव द जनरल कैटेगरी. तो आप सोचो 30 का वैकेंसी है तो नियरली 17-18 तक का आपका जनरल कैटेगरी में रहेगा. सो वट एवर वैकेंसीज दे हैव इन ईच ऑफ दोज सेगमेंट, उसका मल्टीप्लाई बाय 10 या मल्टीप्लाई बाय 12 जितना वो लोग शॉर्टलिस्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम द IOCL ICI पोर्टल, जो भी कैंपस का होता है. आफ्टर द शॉर्टलिस्टिंग वही होगा. शॉर्टलिस्टिंग विल बी बेस्ड ऑन मार्क्स. फॉर द जनरल कैटेगरी द ओनली वे टू बी शॉर्टलिस्टेड इज कि आपकी रैंक हो या आपकी मार्क्स बहुत अच्छा हो, बोथ ग्रुप्स क्लियर हो. सो दैट विल पुट यू अप in their cutoff criteria. वो एक criteria रहेगा once you are shortlisted. And after getting shortlisted, the interview process. So nowadays they have introduced GD in their rounds, but again GD is a non-elimination round, तो उतना कुछ नहीं रहता, but it has a weightage in the final selection. So in that way GD is there. And जो final interview होता है, what I have experienced, and मेरे interview में या हमारे बाद भी जो भी लोगों ने interview दिया, what I've experienced, the interview process won't be so technical and so grilling at the interviewer's end, because वैसा ITC या उस टाइप का इंटरव्यू नहीं लेते जो काफी टेक्निकल है, ग्रिलिंग टाइप का. Major concern which they have when they look after a candidate is whether the candidate is actually willing to come into a PSU, whether the candidate is fit for PSU or not. And what do we mean by fit for PSU is that he is coming with a long-term vision, एंड उसको मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको 1 साल या 2 साल में वो स्विच करेगा. एंड द नेक्स्ट इज ही इज ओके विद द ट्रांसफर पोस्टिंग्स, बिकॉज दैट इज वेयर द मेन हीट कम्स. जब आप एक बार आ जाते हो देन आपको पता चलता है हर 3 साल में आप ट्रांसफर हो गए. Currently you are in Chennai, then you might be transferred to Guwahati, then you might be transferred to Delhi, then Mumbai. So ये जब हर 3 साल में होता है, so this is what they want कि जो कैंडिडेट का माइंडसेट है, he is open for transfers. So once you are able to bring this thing into their mind कि sir I am looking for a PSU job and I am looking for it in the long term perspective and I am okay with the transfers, जो भी transfers I am okay with that. थोड़ा bit of technically you have to be sound कि थोड़ा बहुत and the questions are not so hard. तो बेसिक सीए में जो हम पढ़ते हैं, दैट यू आर एबल टू क्वालिफाई थ्रू दैट, देन द इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस वोंट बी दैट हार्ड. द शॉर्टलिस्टिंग आई वुड से इज मोर हार्डर देन पासिंग द इंटरव्यू. Okay, so in the interview session you just have to show that you are really willing to join the company and willing to for any location. वो एक चीज रहेगी, then I think they will be accepting you. So that is the part of shortlisting and getting selected. Any other questions you can write on chat, we'll cover that. So once you have being selected and you get a posting, so IOCL में basically there are 3 major types of posting. You are into a marketing division, or you are into a refinery division, or you are into pipelines division. So major ये 3 divisions रहते हैं, work थोड़ा सा काफी अलग हो जाता है when you have been posted into a refinery or marketing or pipeline. बहुत शॉर्ट में अगर मैं बताऊं तो जो रिफाइनरी का डिविजन का वर्क होता है, दैट इज मोर बैलेंस्ड out, and the work life balance हम ढूंढते हैं एक PSU में, that you get when you are posted into a marketing or a pipelines division, because उनका working way है जो काफी predetermined है कि किसको क्या काम करना है, which work is allocated. The working is not that dynamically changed by the external environment. कोई भी लॉ चेंज हो या कुछ चेंजेस आते हैं तो उनका वर्किंग उतना चेंज नहीं होता, बिकॉज वर्क इन अ क्लोज्ड रिफाइनरी, मतलब एक लेवल पे है तो उनको उतना दिक्कत नहीं होता. तो वर्किंग इज वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, यू गेट इनटू दीस टू. The next is the marketing segment, where जो ऑयल जो पेट्रोल पंप आप देखते हो या एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स है, तो वो जो लास्ट एंड होता है आईओसीएल का, दैट बीइंग हैंडल्ड बाय मार्केटिंग. तो यहाँ पे यू विल सी द वर्किंग इज क्वाइट मोर, मतलब जो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस आप ढूंढते हो दैट थोड़ा सा वो हिट लेता है, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट की प्रॉपर 9 to 5 और 5 बजे आप निकल जाओ. थोड़ा बहुत इट्स बेटर देन द प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स, बट अगेन थोड़ा बहुत यू गेट मोर डायनामिक विद द वर्क बिकॉज द थिंग्स गेट्स चेंज. आपका 194Q या 206C नया कोई सेक्शन आएगा, देन यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट हाउ दैट इज बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड. So when you are into accounts and any changes that comes that hits your trial balance, आपके उसमें कुछ भी changes आ रहा है, then you have to ensure that how that's get implemented at your level. तो वो था working wise रहेगा. So marketing, refinery और pipelines. So marketing is more, काम थोड़ा ज़्यादा रहता है marketing segment में, refinery and pipelines are relax. So that is the one part. Now coming to the pros and cons, ठीक है. तो एक मैं pros पहले बता देता हूँ, what I have seen in my 3 years of journey. So exposure wise, I am into a marketing segment. So marketing is like हर state में एक state office है. So I'm into Bihar state office. I look after Bihar and Jharkhand state. So I look after the accounts and taxation part. कि जो आपका trial balance आपको quarter end में freeze करना होता है. So that basically आपको देखना है. Plus the taxation part is the monthly returns of VAT, CST and also GST. Since petroleum products है तो VAT है अभी भी. So that is the work wise. So I myself have found that the exposure has been good. It has been learning from my end. But एक caveat जो इसमें मैं दूंगा that it's not important कि आप PSU में हो तो आपका हमेशा learning experience रहेगा. People tend to, वो जो line रहता है ना, जो आपका energy रहता है, that tend to get down with time. आपकी जो skill development वाली चीज है या आपकी जो खुद से आप effort लगाते हो, that you need to maintain from your own end only. वर्क इतना डायनामिक नहीं है कि वो आपको मजबूर करेगा कि आप सीखो, बट यू योरसेल्फ हैव टू फोर्स योरसेल्फ कि आप अपने काम में मतलब ऐसे काम करो कि यू ट्राई टू इनोवेट, यू ट्राई टू डू सम वर्क डेवलपमेंट, जो भी प्रोसेसेस है. बिकॉज पीएसयू में एक चीज रहता है कि प्रोसेसेस हैव सम लैक्यूना, है ना, कहीं ना कहीं प्रोसेस रहता है कि वहाँ पे इंप्रूवमेंट्स का स्कोप काफी रहता है. तो इन दैट वे ये जो स्कोप कि आप ना इंप्रूवमेंट्स को, प्रोसेसेस को इंप्रूव करो, वो स्कोप हमेशा है. बट फॉर दैट यू हैव टू पुश योरसेल्फ. Your boss might not say कि यार इस पे कुछ करो because he is not that bothered. But वो अगर आप खुद सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट के लिए लेकर आप अगर वो सब चीजें करते हो, then in that way exposure becomes very rewarding. Because वहाँ पे स्कोप है करने का. Maybe some companies में already processes streamlined रहते हैं कि वहाँ पे स्कोप नहीं रहता. But PSU have found there is a lot of scope of making improvements, and company acknowledge करती है उस चीज को. So this is one thing. Work-life balance definitely is far better. I would say I worked अबाउट 3 years मैंने जो आर्टिकलशिप किया EY में, एंड ऑल्सो 3 months I worked as an executive there. So work life balance wise if I compare, the work life over here is far better than any मतलब कोई भी प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स में जो आपको मिलता है. अब मतलब ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है प्राइवेट का, बट जहाँ तक सुनना है तो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहता है. एट द इवनिंग यू कैन वेरी वेल गेट ऑफ एट 6:30 7 इन द मॉर्निंग. आप अगर 10 बजे तक जाते हो तो 6 बजे तक आप, दैट्स द नॉर्मल रूटीन. ठीक है, तो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस वाइज रहेगा. Payment, good pay, I would say the pay is quite decent, and instead of the cash in hand they believe in giving you more and more perquisites. Okay, so आपका cash in hand salary might not be as compared to the one in a your friend in a private company, but perquisites काफी रहते हैं. Like one example I would say the medical benefits of your and your parents are always free. मतलब अगर आपके parents dependent आप दिखाते हो that your parents are dependent on you, then any medical expenditure will be reimbursed by the company. तो ये एक काफी मेजर बेनिफिट रहता है ऑफ इन केस ऑफ, मतलब आपको इन हैंड नहीं दिखेगा, बट इफ यू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू मनी देन वो सब चीजें. एक्सटेंडेड आवर्स वर्किंग, मतलब अगर आप एक्सटेंडेड आवर्स वर्क करते हो तो इन दैट यू गेट अ गुड ओवरटाइम पे. तो वो सब चीजें आर देयर द परक्यूजेट साइड. एंड वो जो मैंने बताया, द गुड एक्सपोजर रिगार्डिंग स्किल डेवलपमेंट, एंड यू कैन कंडक्ट ट्रेनिंग सेशंस एंड ऑल. लाइक I find myself I'm very good at Excel, and मैं advanced Excel वगैरह मैंने काफी ट्रेनिंग सेशन किया in Excel, and also I do some bit of Python coding. तो वो सब चीजें भी मैं सिखाता हूँ. तो that exposure the company gives you to teach all its employees. या आप कुछ अगर आप कुछ बेटर कर रहे हो अपने स्टेट ऑफिसेस में, तो we have 17 स्टेट ऑफिसेस. तो क्योंकि हर स्टेट ऑफिस का काम लगभग सेम है, तो इफ यू डू समथिंग गुड इन योर स्टेट ऑफिस, यू गेट एक्सपोजर फ्रॉम द हेड ऑफिस या कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस कि आप ये चीजें हमारे सारे स्टेट ऑफिस को बताओ, ताकि ये आवर प्रोसेस गेट्स एफिशिएंट ओवरऑल. तो ये सब जो एक्सपोजर की जो मतलब अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, दैट आर एम्पल, बट दैट डिपेंड्स कि अगर आप खुद अपना काम को बेटर कर रहे हो देन यू गेट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. अगर आप खुद अपने काम में कि जैसे आपके सीनियर ने बताया कि ऐसे करो, आप वैसे करते जा रहे हो, देन यू माइट नॉट गेट दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ. बट अगर आप अपना मतलब होता है दिमाग लगा के कि भाई ये काम को मैं ऐसे क्यों कर रही हूँ, देयर आर बेटर वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. तो सिंस आई हैव बीन इन्वॉल्व इनटू अ लॉट ऑफ प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन, तो मेरे को काफी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता रहता है कि अपने काम को भी इजी करो एंड बाकी को भी बताओ कि ये काम कैसे कर सकते हो. इन दैट वे आई फाइंड दैट the exposure to like आपका skills development का, technical skills and soft skills दोनों development का you get a good opportunity. So but again you have to keep efforts for that. So these are the some pros which I have found, and cons wise what I would say is that जो आप efforts डालते हो अपने काम में, वो efforts का आपको direct reward नहीं मिलेगा. Like maybe in a private में कि आपने कुछ किया तो 1 साल के अंदर आपको प्रमोशन दे दिया जो आपको 2 साल में मिलता, या 3 साल की जगह 2 साल में दे दिया, तो वो प्रमोशन साइकिल यू वोंट बी गेटिंग दैट. तो वो एक काइंड ऑफ कॉन है जो मेरे को लगता है कि आपको, अगर आप वो माइंडसेट से काम करते हो कि मेरे को ज्यादा कुछ मिलेगा, अगर मैंने सेविंग्स किया कंपनीज का तो मेरे को कुछ मिलेगा, तो दैट इज नॉट अ डायरेक्ट रिलेशन. आपका प्रमोशन दे दे 3 year साइकिल, ए से बी ग्रेड में 3 साल का है, तो आपको 3 साल के बाद ही मिलेगा. समवन हु हैज वर्क जस्ट लाइक 9 to 5 कि मैंने एकदम आराम से काम किया, उसको भी शायद मिल जाएगा. एंड आपने एफर्ट ला के 9 बजे तक काम किया है हर दिन, तो भी आपको 3 साल में मिलेगा. द कंपनी कैन नॉट गिव यू प्रमोशन बिफोर 3 years. दैट इज देयर पॉलिसी. हो सकता है किसी ने काम नहीं किया तो डिले हो जाए, बट जल्दी नहीं मिल सकता. तो दैट इज वन कॉन. तो ग्रोथ पेस वाइज आपको, अगर आप अच्छा काम करते हो डेफिनेटली यू ग्रो, बट अगेन आप ग्रो करके मैक्सिमम अपने रिटायरमेंट तक यू कैन बिकम अ चेयरमैन ऑफ द कंपनी. मे बी आफ्टर 55 years of age you can become a chairman. In any circumstances you cannot become a chairman before 50 years. अगर आपको लगता है कि आई गेट टू द टॉप एंड बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स में मैं जल्दी पहुंच जाऊंगा, तो दैट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. तो दैट इज वन थिंग कि आप अगर ग्रोथ माइंडसेट से काफी वो हो कि मेरे को जल्दी टॉप तक पहुंचना है, तो पीएसयूज में आई डोंट थिंक इट्स पॉसिबल. इन ऑयल कंपनीज में तो नहीं है, आई कांट गारंटी ऑफ एनी गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस से हो सब. तो इन दैट वे वन थिंग इज देयर, एंड हाँ, एंड माइट बी डिफिकल्ट टू स्विच विच आई, लोग यूजुअली स्विच करते हैं दैट इवन आफ्टर वर्किंग फॉर 2 years 3 years 4 years they tend to switch. even in finance domain switch करते हैं, but it depends on कि आपने खुद को अपडेटेड रखा है या नहीं रखा है. अगर 3 साल तक आपने एक पीएसयू एम्प्लॉय की तरह ही काम किया है, लाइक आपने खुद को ट्रेंड से अपडेट नहीं रखा, जो नई चीजें हो रही है, आपने एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट से अपने आप को कट ऑफ करके अगर 9 to 5 वाला काम किया है, दैट इट मे बी कि आपका पे काफी अच्छा है इन पीएसयू, बट व्हेन यू गेट आउट ऑफ अ पीएसयू और आपको कोई बैंकिंग या कोई दूसरा कंसल्टिंग ज्वाइन करना है, दे माइट नॉट बी विलिंग टू एक्सेप्ट यू, प्रोवाइडेड बिकॉज इंटरव्यू में आप उतना वेल परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाओगे, बिकॉज 3 साल या 4 साल में काफी चीजें बदल जाएंगी. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज मैंने जैसे कहा कि पीएसयू इन इटसेल्फ वोंट पुश यू टू ग्रो. ठीक है ना, आपको खुद से मतलब अपना एफर्ट लगाना है सो दैट यू डोंट गेट आउटडेटेड. तो वो चीज अगर आपने नहीं किया देन इट माइट बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू स्विच. अगर आपको कभी स्विच करना पड़ता है इन फ्यूचर। तो दिस इज द कॉन विच आई फाउंड। एंड हाँ, एंड द ट्रांसफर पोस्टिंग्स वो किसी के लिए कॉन हो सकता है, किसी के लिए प्रो हो सकता है। समवन माइट लाइक इट दैट ही विल बी विजिटिंग मेनी प्लेसेस ऑफ इंडिया, एंड रिटायरमेंट तक आप कम से कम आई वुड से 7 to 10 cities आप घूम लोगे, एंड यू विल बी लिविंग इन डिफरेंट सिटीज। तो इन दैट वे ये एक ऐसा, आई लीव इट अप टू यू कि whether it's a pro or a con। तो हाँ, ये एक ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस है मेरा अभी तक का। एंड माई आई हैव फाउंड इन माई केस आई हैव बीन टू PSU फॉर 3 years। तो मेरे को लगता है कि आई हैव पुट इन मच एफर्ट फॉर मेकिंग माई सेल्फ रेलिवेंट इन टूडेज टाइम्स, कि अगर आज मेरे को स्विच करना ही पड़े तो आई वोंट फाइंड एन इशू। तो वो एक एफर्ट मैंने डाला है। एंड द PSU जो IOCL है दैट इज 51% गवर्नमेंट स्टेक, एंड बाकी पब्लिक है, वो मतलब मार्केट में है। तो इन दैट वे इट्स नॉट 100% गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल। तो जो आपका ऐसे दिल्ली ट्रांसपोर्ट हुआ या जो प्योर गवर्नमेंट वाली चीजें थी वो यू वोंट फाइंड इन PSU। ओके, तो PSU में प्राइवेट टच रहता है। यू हैव टू बी ऑन टाइम, यू कांट बी कमिंग लाइक अ सरकारी बाबू दैट आप 12 बजे आ रहे हो, ये सब नहीं रहता। यू हैव अ टाइम, यू हैव टू गो एट 9:30 बिकॉज यू हैव पंचिंग एंड पंच आउट है। तो आप ना उस वाइज आप कभी भी लीव ले रहे हो, ये सब चीज नहीं होता इन अ PSU। यू हैव टू बी अटेंडेंट, एंड इन दैट वे द वर्किंग कल्चर वाइज जो आपका हायरार्की है, जो आपको स्किल डेवलपमेंट के चांसेस मिलते हैं, तो इन दैट वे प्राइवेट प्लेयर को काफी मैच करता है। So this is the summary. I've tried to cover as much as possible, but still, if any specific query, then I would cover that.
Sure.
Okay. One point which I wanted to like ask, जो किसी ने बोला women के लिए अच्छा है. So one thing I would which I have felt in all the 3 oil companies, BPC, IOC, and HPC, इनमें it's a great place to work for women, because वुमेन सेफ्टी हो या वुमेन के लिए जो भी वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है, दैट इज लाइक द अटमोस्ट प्रायोरिटी। ओके, तो हम लोग के लिए मे बी मतलब कुछ कंसर्न नहीं हो, बट वुमेन के लिए दे आर रियली वेरी कंसर्न, एंड वो कंसर्न दिखता है उनका ऑन रियल ग्राउंड। इट्स नॉट ओनली ऑन पेपर, इट्स ऑन रियल ग्राउंड वी कैन सी द कंसर्न। So in that way, for women, I would definitely say it's a great place to work. Working wise, I don't think anyone would face any issue, है ना। तो जो वर्किंग अगर कहीं ऑफिस में कोई दिक्कतें होती है, भाई वो दिक्कतें आपको PSU में हो, if you raise a very small, कुछ भी आप रेज करते हो, that gets escalated direct to the chairman या corporate level। तो वो issue कुछ रहता नहीं है in any PSU for working। And transfers वाला I have seen, if you finally get to find someone in PSU जिसमें अगर आपको अपने होने वाला या होने वाली अगर आपको PSU में मिल जाए, then it's great, क्योंकि आप दोनों की पोस्टिंग हमेशा साथ में ही होगी, that's the company policy। And अगर वो नहीं मिलता, if you like for a woman, I would say if you are working in IOCL, you find someone out of IOCL, then आपकी तो 3 साल में ट्रांसफर होती रहेगी। तो how is your better half going to coordinate with that becomes an issue sometimes। तो वो एक चीज है। वो जो आप वुमेन के लिए बोल रहे हो ट्रांसफर्स वाइज अच्छा रहता है if the both are in the same company। So that is one point I wanted to cover।
राइट, प्रणव भाई ने एकदम डिटेल रिसर्च करके रखे हैं। चलो, great, I think really great insights, right? We have one more mentor joined in from Power Finance Corporation, right? Bushra have joined us। तो सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है, एक बार प्लीज सब एक बार अनम्यूट करके एक बार yes, we'll give a round of applause for Pranav also, and we'll welcome Bushra for this।
Hello, sir.
Hello
Hello,
hi,
everyone.
Bushra, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir.
Yes, chalo, great। So Bushra, we would like to hear your experience, that how was your interview experience, how did you got shortlisted, and what all interview questions were asked to you, some basics, and your journey till now in Power Finance।
Like for the first time when I got the opportunity, like when I was shortlisted for PFC, I was already having like 3 offer letters in my hand. One for JP Morgan, second for Deloitte, and the third for PwC. Okay. So the only benefit that I got was that the date for accepting for the JP Morgan job selection was falling after my PFC interview. If that would have been before, then I would have been a part of JP Morgan right now, because the joining date was 11th of April. And my interview was connected for PFC on 10th of April. So it was a 1-day gap, because of which I got saved. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here right now. Apart from that, I have been working there for the past 2 months, because the joining was very late. 27th of June, I have joined, like literally after staying 3 months back at home and getting rested. But still, it was all worth it. Like the first thing, the real myth that people have is that PSUs only they select people only who are having ranks. That is a myth. Don't go by it. I am not a ranker. I was selected for PFC. Even the person who was rank 2 during my batch wasn't selected. So 7 of us got selected from the CA campus, and I was one of them. So getting the myth that only rankers are getting selected, it's not that. Secondly, the point is when generally the other interviewers, when I think most of you would have taken interview by now, generally it's an one-on-one interview or two-to-one interview. Like the person is sitting right in front of you, in front of the camera. But when my interview was conducted, 3 people were sitting, the panelists were sitting like far behind, and I was projected on the screen. I wasn't able to see their faces. So what the expression was, even the gender I could make out hardly. So like their names you wouldn't know. Like normally during the Zoom meeting you would know their names. The names are presented. But during my interview I wasn't aware of the names, and even by their clothes I was able to identify their genders. So the interview wasn't long. It was 17 to 18 minutes long. But the interviews for PSUs are very crisp. Like they won't ask for a long introduction. They won't ask about your life, the things that are going on. Any haywire discussion they won't do. They'll literally prepare all the questions from your CV, basically. That is something that happened with me. And right now, the department in which I'm posted is based on the CV that I presented them. So keep a clear view of your CV. Be very thorough. One question will lead to another. And generally in a PSU, as you would know, there's a women reservation. So if there are 3 panelists, one would be a woman panelist, and generally that would be a HR round that she'll play there. So be ready for her question as well. She'll generally they ask simpler questions, but in my time they did ask a question like, give me a suggestion that something you did not like about PFC. I was not even a part of PFC, but that was a question that was asked from me. So how would you prepare that? Like during your campus placement, a brochure would have been given to you, like considering that company, the things they have done, the key highlights, and even their like downside would have been given that you have to identify. You have to keep it ready, like the positive points and the negative points, because maybe there's a slight chance that they'll ask for suggestions, something that you feel that they should improve further. Apart from that, go through their revenue model, their net worth, like the basic annual report thing you have to go through, but don't go in like total details, because like the annual reports are very long. It is not humanly possible for you all to go through the entire reports. But definitely make sure that you go on the home page of the company, because the PSUs are maintaining their home page very well. And apart from the annual reports, you'll find many new findings and the new work that they would have been doing currently. So like the entire crux of the company you'll get on the company's page only. The recent highlights, if they have like done any recent event, or like generally they do work for women empowerment as well. So if Women's Day was celebrated, all those images you will get there only. So for that, you have to be prepared, because they'll be expecting you to go through the homepage and their annual report. Apart from that, in my experience, like I was joining Power Finance Corporation. So like the name suggests that it mainly deals in power sectors. So what I did was all the amendments, all the news which was related to the power sector at that current point of time, I went through all of them. Basically, I wasn't even aware what the company does. Like I heard the name for the first time. And when I went through the company's page, I got to know it is the highest dividend paying company right now. And it became Maharatna last year only. But because the name is not that famous, because it employs only 500 to 510 employees currently. So the organization is not big, but it is working directly under the Ministry of Power. So it has a huge role to play in the power sector currently. So you have to know the work that they are doing presently, because that will help you to know what like you are leading into, whether you want to go there or not. Like I know for the first time the CTC would be very helpful for you to join. But other than that, the work culture in PSUs is good. Like for me, every person has greeted me well. Even I got sick during like after 1 month of joining. But the team that I got was very supportive. And first, the most important thing is all your medical expenses are covered. So like the first thing that people go for PSU, the government job which you aim for is, especially our like parents' generation. they went for the government job for this only thing, that your medical expenses are completely covered. So I know like medical expenses at this point of time would sound very useless, because we all are in between the age of 20 to 25, I believe, and you are in your best health. But I shifted to Delhi from Patna. I got severely sick. I was admitted in the hospital for 1 week and all my expenses were covered. So that I realized only after getting admitted in the hospital, and the team that I got, which was very supportive. So I don't believe that the private players that are there, like presently playing the game, won't be that helpful in your creating a work-life balance. Because the seniors that I have seen in my office, like the people who are at E7 or E8 level, like I joined in E3 level, E6, E7 means general finance manager, and all those people are with them. I have seen them having a hobby along with their job. So when the work-life balance thing comes, like I have an office from 9 to 5:30. After 5:30, maybe you'll get to stay to till 6:30, but not more than that. But some seasonal durations are there when you have to submit a report or something, then you'll have to stay back. But other than that, your work-life balance will be totally sorted. You will get complete time to pursue a career further, first. Secondly, follow a passion or your hobby. And third, totally like look after your health. Because once you shift, relocate to a different city, adapting to a different city is very crucial. And you have to take care of your health, which we don't, like back home, I did not realize that. But many of my friends who have joined along with me did go through the same problem. So getting adapted to that very environment is important. So getting time for yourself, spending time on you, that would be very important. So make of note of that. Like no matter how like happy the people in your private sector friends are, you have to take time for yourself out. If you don't do that, you'll fall sick like me, and I don't want that to happen. Other than that, like my entire experience till now, like it has been only 2 months. I have been lucky that I got a great team. The head of the unit of my department, he is very good. And as a new joinee, I did not feel any resistance from like even the ED of the company. Even the ED of my department knew my name. I did not know his name. He knew my name. He called me, but I wasn't aware what his name was. So people are friendly. They won't be rude to you. Everyone will greet you properly. You will be always invited. So having that hesitant that like PSU is generally like the people there are like the what Pranav said, government babu. It won't be the same, because in my company currently only chartered accountants, MBAs that too from IIMs, okay, not from any other colleges, and IITians are placed. So you won't find any person who is unprofessional. So like the atmosphere won't be less than a corporate. Like everything that a private sector follows, that will be completely followed. Like the Sarkari office thing that you see like around your house won't be there. Like the PSUs currently are not following that, and they are very strict considering their rules and the things that you have to follow. Like coming late and going early, doing whatever you want to do, that won't be a scene now. Like those government offices, if you're planning that you'll be joining some of those, so that's a myth. That is not there. Work, yeah, someday work will be there. Maybe someday, like after the due dates are over, how do you like feel? Like the work is the downfall in the work. It like some of those days will come, but yeah, there will be ups and downs. But that won't be a situation that you won't get any work at all. It will take time, because they like you need to adjust. Because in my case, only 7 CAs were allocated to the entire organization. So we were like less, but generally when you go to a private organization, they hire in bulk. Like 150 people are getting hired, 50 to 100 people are getting hired. So that type of recognition that I got in my organization, you may not get. So that would be like all the things that I have said are pros. There are cons, like I totally agree. But apart from that, like the HR of my organization, like on the first day of my joining, he said was, once you join, your CTC will be high. But after like 10 years down the line, maybe the person who has joined along with you in a private organization will come at par. But not until like 7 to 10 years, he won't be at par. But after 10 years, you'll have to find an alternate situation. You'll have to keep yourself updated. So maybe you'll have to switch to an industry where your growth will be high. So you'll have to work on that. because if you go through the entire process of PSU and you become lethargic and you're not being updated in the entire scenario which is going on, so shifting for you would be difficult. But other than that, I've seen people joining PSUs and getting retired from it as well. They are like the EDs of my organization right now, like in having a topmost position, joined the organization after the graduation and they're still there. They built the entire organization and they're still present. So that would be completely your call. What do you want? Because apart, like, I won't deny that the enhanced salary won't be that high. Like the CTC, which they will show you, that won't be divided by 12 and you won't get the entire enhanced salary in a month. But the what they follow is the reimbursement model. You will take things, you'll get it reimbursed. You won't get in hand. The cash won't flow like that. So that would be your choice. Like, do you like, for me, like, I won't brag, but like the CTC was high. The PFC offered the second highest PFC, a second highest CTC last time. But when I joined and when we calculated the entire CTC model, so the enhanced salary came very less, because like the rest of the amount went to uniform allowance, laptop allowance, and all the other allowances. So your standard of living will grow, no doubt. But if you will feel that the enhanced salary will grow proportionately, so that would be a lie. But because every year the growth rate would be fixed up to 3%. And generally in the private sector, like if you are not even working, it will be 8 to 10%. If you are even lethargic, the industry growth rate will be 8 to 10%. But that, like as I said, like the other person will take 5 to 10 years to come till you. At par, the break-even point will be there. So if you work hard from now and you have an alternate plan that you want to switch or maybe continue here, so if you'll make the correct portfolio decisions, so you will be in a good position. You'll have a good life ahead and the work-life balance would be there.
Great. I think you did everything and covered everything out which audience wanted to listen. Right, really thankful for the thoughts. Yes, now we'll also open the forum for audience in a while. But before we go into that, Padam, your thoughts, right? Since you have a good exposure and industry experience, right? यार कुछ तो pro tip बता दो यार. And a lot of people are asking कि कुछ reference work करता है क्या, or anyone can refer me out, or is there only a fixed procedure which is supposed to be followed? Yes, Padam.
Starting with first interesting question, CTC. भाई
Right.
CTC क्या है वो बता दो. So what will happen, all those companies that you see जहाँ पे कुछ private players भी हैं और major stake government का है, वहाँ पे you will get a fixed CTC, जैसे 17 lakh, 15 lakh, 14 lakh or whatever it is. But when you come to a totally government owned company, it will be based on the pay scale. Like you have known 6th pay commission, 7th pay commission, 8th pay commission. So depending on the कौन सी company है, you'll get the CTC. More or less, when you go pay wise, totally government, there the basic will be less, but DA and other allowances will be more. So if suppose you get a 50,000 basic, so around 34% DA, 17% other allowance, so it will come to somewhere 75,000. But that is in the these companies, IOCL or other companies, it would be given in the starting ki 17 lakhs ka CTC. Out of that, 3 lakh is your what we call it, joining bonus, which will be given over a period of time. Usme se bhi something is HRA, which you'll never get, because they will provide their own houses, staying के लिए सब कुछ provide कर देंगे. Food allowances that you'll never get क्योंकि वो pay कर रहे हैं आपके behalf पे. Uniform allowances you'll never get क्योंकि uniform वो आपको दे रहे हैं. So more or less cut कुटा के that will come down to 12, 11 वहीं पे आने वाला. So it is at par with the industry or finance job or other domain jobs, whatever it is. So CTC is quite clear, ज़्यादा नहीं मिलने वाला. It will, मुझे खुद HPCL ने offer किया था 17 lakhs, but it was never 17 lakhs. It will come down to 11 only. Second thing, reference might help only when the person जिनका आपके पास reference है, that is at a higher level. जिनका पे 8th grade पे हो या फिर बहुत ऊपर हो जाए. I think Usha has told that someone at a ED level, if they refer you, then it is worth. You suppose अब मैं अभी join किया हूँ and I am referring you, I am not getting any benefit. मुझे खुद उतना experience नहीं, the company is not knowing me. सो मेरा रेफरेंस नहीं चलेगा, मोस्टली वहाँ रेफरेंस नहीं चलेगा, बट अंडर द टेबल व्हाट वी ऑल नो दैट वैसे चल सकता है, वेरी रेयरली. सो यू कैन हैव अ रेफरेंस एट अ वेरी हाई लेवल. और कौन सा क्वेश्चन था? हाँ, अबाउट द इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस, शी इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट. You will never gonna have a one interviewer or two interviewer. There will be at least 3 or more. What they will cover, एक टेक्निकल के लिए रहेंगे, एक जनरल नॉलेज के लिए रहेंगे. दे विल ट्राई टू गेट कि आप अपडेटेड हो या नहीं हो मार्केट से भी. इट विल नॉट बी कि कहाँ पे पॉलिटिक्स में क्या चल रहा है, बट इट वुड बी मोर ऑफ अगर वो कंपनी ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन की है तो ऑयल में क्या चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, कुछ आपको पता है क्या, कुछ तो भी अपडेशन है क्या आपको. थर्ड विल बी मोर ऑफ दैट पर्सन विल बी साइलेंट, वो लास्ट में बोलेंगी, जैसे कि एचआर, शी वुड बी द एचआर, वो लास्ट में आपका सब कुछ होने के बाद बोलेंगी. फोर्थ वुड बी, क्योंकि ये पीएसयू है तो एक बंदा वहां बैठा होगा जो इंडेस और एएस पे पूरी टेस्टेबिलिटी लेगा कि आपको इन्स एंड आउट्स पता है या नहीं. वो बंदा जरूर रहेगा इंडेस के लिए. आइदर इट वुड बी द टेक्निकल पर्सन जो कवर कर ले, या फिर एक स्पेशल बंदा रहेगा, क्योंकि एचपीसीएल और टाटा स्टील दोनों में मैंने ये फेस किया. सो दीज 4 वुड बी देयर, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. नाउ टेक्निकली दे वोंट आस्क बहुत मुश्किल क्वेश्चन. आई वाज लाइक कि अब टाटा स्टील के लिए बैठ रहा हूँ, एचपीसीएल के लिए बैठ रहा हूँ, जो कैंडिडेट्स मेरे साथ compete करने वाले, दे आर वेरी मच नोन, रैंकर्स हैं तो उनको बहुत कुछ आता है. What they started with the first question was what is the difference between cash discount and trade discount, और उसको कहाँ पे बुक करेंगे. सो आप बहुत नीचे लेवल के क्वेश्चंस अज्यूम कर सकते हो कि वहां पूछने वाले हैं. उनको सिर्फ इतना चाहिए कि आपको बेसिक नॉलेज हो. what will keep you down is the general knowledge वाला पार्ट, बिकॉज वहां पे आपको नहीं पता है कि क्या आंसर करना, एंड यू कैन नॉट कोरिलेट. जैसे कैश डिस्काउंट हम सोच के बता सकते हैं अपने पॉइंट पे, बट इफ दे आस्क यू ऑयल प्राइसेस ईरान में क्या चल रही है, या फिर अभी कैसे डिफ्लेशन पे ऑयल प्राइसेस मूव ऑन कर रहे हैं, वो आप सोच के नहीं बता सकते. यू शुड हैव द फैक्ट और नो सॉरी. सो दीज आर थिंग्स टू बी केप्ट इन माइंड. इन डेज अगेन पूरा सब कुछ समझने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट द रेवेन्यू मॉडल दैट शी वेरी वेल टोल्ड, इंडेस 115 का एक एक पॉइंट वो पूछ सकते हैं, बिकॉज उनका टोटल कंपनी ही रेवेन्यू मॉडल पे चल रहा है. दे आर नॉट समवन हु इज टेकिंग मनी गिविंग समवन या फिर ऑडिट कर रहे हैं. दे आर नॉट सर्विसेज, दे आर नॉट फाइनेंसेस, दे आर प्रॉपर मैन्युफैक्चरर्स और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स. सो दे आर मोस्टली बेस्ड ऑन द रेवेन्यू मॉडल. और कुछ आया है क्या कमेंट?
नहीं, I think other doubts in the chat box. One common doubt, lot of people are again asking is, sir, off campus कैसे apply करेंगे? Just check the recording at the start of a session. We started with the same कि off campus कैसे start करना है, how to apply. In fact, मैं फिर से brief बता देता हूँ. ICA campus, job postings at multiple websites, career page and newspaper. These are the 4 places where you can apply off campus. इसके अलावा other things will not work. References, again Padam mentioned that above ED लेवल और अगेन ED लेवल के आसपास के व्यक्ति को रेफर करना चाहिए. ओके, यस, ओके. एनी अदर? हाँ, I'll share the link. Don't worry, already shared in the chat box. Again, I'll share it over the Telegram group and WhatsApp.
This question is good one. If someone works on bank and then switches to PSU, it would be counted as experience. Yes, it would be counted as experience अगर आप वहाँ पे भी accounts manager का job कर रहे हो या फिर accounts से related and then shifting to accounts. What happens in PSU also, ऐसा नहीं है कि वहां पे जाने पे आपको सब कुछ मिल जाता है. There are departments, कोई IDT देख रहा है, कोई DT देख रहा है, कोई litigations देख रहा है, कोई सिर्फ accounting देख रहा है. Being a chartered accountant, हम किसी भी रोल के लिए हायर हो सकते हैं, हम शिफ्ट भी कर सकते हैं विद इन डिपार्टमेंट, विच इज नॉट इन आवर कंट्रोल. तो वट एवर दे आर हायरिंग फॉर, अगर आप उसी डोमेन से आ रहे हो, इट इज प्रेफरेबल. अदरवाइज टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन योर इंटरव्यू. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपने बैंक में किया है एंड यू आर गोइंग फॉर लिटिगेशन, वो नहीं लेंगे. दे विल कंसिडर, बट देन यू हैव टू शो इन द इंटरव्यू कि हाँ मुझे उतना एक्सपीरियंस या एक्सपीरियंस नहीं, नॉलेज है. दैट इज द फैक्ट.
Got it. Pushpa, just wanted to ask you, was the GD happened in your case? GD हुआ था
No,
क्या?
sir. No, sir. Only a 17 minutes long interview. Other than that, nothing happened.
अच्छा, I think IOCL में हुआ था, right? If I'm not wrong.
IOCL में पहले नहीं करते थे, मतलब after the COVID I think they have started. Since offline है तो
It's okay. तो it's purely depending on GD होगा कि नहीं, but let's prepare for the best out. Prepare करके रखो यार, है ना? तो that is what I'll say.
Actually, if number of seats बहुत कम है, then GD होगा. जैसे in that Pranav's case, the number of seats was 30. That is very much. in Tata Steel or HPCL or other power grid that I gave, the number of seats was only 8. So in that case, हमारे GDs हुए थे. So
Got it.
But
depending on the
it's
seats.
totally subjective, because in my
Yes,
case, 7
it's
people
totally
were
subjective.
selected and 37 interviews were taken, but the GD did not happen.
Okay. Got it. Just wanted to ask, anyone of you can help you out with this, which is the best role in PSU? As in, कोई ऐसा रहता है कि ये grade चाहिए या ये role मिल जाए तो बहुत सही रहेगा? Pranav or Bushra or Padam, anyone?
I think
So,
PSU, I would say, the roles for charter accountants are good if you work at a marketing division under a state office level. The corporate level, या तो आप corporate level में जाओ, where you will do more of the consolidation वाले part, या आपको रियल अकाउंटिंग और टैक्स का एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए ऑन ग्राउंड, कैसे कंपनीज का टैक्स रिटर्न या कैसे कंपनीज का अकाउंटिंग होता है, एसएपी का एक्सपीरियंस इन हैंड चाहिए, देन आई थिंक द अकाउंट्स रोल, द अकाउंट्स मैनेजर रोल, अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर रोल, दैट इज व्हाट बेसिकली काफी अकाउंटिंग रिलेटेड होता है एंड सीए रिलेटेड.
Actually, Shivam, it is like ज्यादा roles होते नहीं है PSU में, भले ही वो नाम कुछ भी दे. More or less, there are only two roles. One is finance trainee and one is accounts manager. That's it.
Okay.
तो
उसके अंदर can be a sub division कि हाँ ये तुमको
उसके अंदर
किसमें
सब
डालना है.
डिवीजन.
हाँ,
हाँ
okay.
हाँ, exactly.
Got
but
it.
in my case, it was completely different, because as I said, like most of them are professionals. So, like considering I was a chartered accountant, I'm not placed in finance. Even MBA people are in there in finance, and I was placed in entity appraisal, which was like primarily it was meant for MBA people, but CAs are posted. CAs are even posted in other departments as well, which are not entirely finance department. Because in the finance department, we have around 9 to 12 subdivisions, and some of them are, I won't deny, boring. Like you won't have enough work to do, but still people are posted there, but you won't have any control. Because when we, like the 7 of us got selected, as the vacancy arrived, people were posted in the respective departments. Even like I had no control over my department, but generally the people were placed based on their CV. Like the past, like one of my friends who joined had a great experience in the internal audit department during his articleship phase. So he was placed in the internal audit department in PFC as well. So like your CV would play the most important role, because on the day of your joining, they'll ask for your CV again. On the basis of that, they will place you in different departments. And one more thing I would like to join, like the most important thing for an interview is not getting done with the technical questions. It is for you to be confident and not lose hope in front of the interviewer. No matter if you don't know the question, always keep your smile on. And that is my mantra, my secret, how I crack the interviews. I never stop smiling in front of my interviewers, because they are not looking for a candidate who is good in technical round, but they are getting a candidate who would be suitable for the organization and will keep a good atmosphere around. If you go there with a like clumsy or grumpy face, even if you give all the technical questions right, they won't select you, because the expression on the screen matters a lot. As I said, like 3 of my interviews were sitting far behind. Like I visited the place where my interview was taken. They were sitting in the conference room and I was projected on the screen. Like then 3 of them were sitting far behind. And later I met the people who took my interview. And then I like got to see their faces. They saw me and they were telling, I took your interview, and I was blank because I did not see their faces. So that would be a case, but you'll have to keep smiling. No matter you know the expressions or not, no matter you are fumbling and not knowing the answer, but don't lose hope. Keep a good presentation in front of them. They will be impressed.
Got it. Great. Last 2 or 1 or 2 questions, right? A lot of them are appearing for Bharat Electricals Limited. Any tips? यार कोई tips दे दो यार. A lot of students are there. कुछ तो बता दो. हमारा interview है in upcoming days for this PSU.
First of all, a major amendment took place in the electricity department currently. An amendment bill is going on. It is very difficult to go through the entire bill, but some summary videos are available on YouTube. Go through that, because if an interviewer asks you a question relating to that amendment, and if you give the answer, that would be impressive. Other than that, even if they don't ask the question, and in the end they'll ask you to share your experience or something from your own side, if you go and give that amendment, they will feel that you are prepared, considering the electricity department is totally affected currently with that amendment bill.
Got it. Great. Padam, any tips for the candidates, those who are
Also,
appearing now
yes,
for interview? Yeah.
electricals, I worked in my articleship firm. There were electrical company. So you can go through the annual reports. क्या होता है, ये इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपनीज जो भी मैन्युफैक्चर करती है ना, वो किसी अप लेवल को सेल करती है. जैसे मैं जहाँ पे काम कर रहा था, दे वर सेलिंग टू बजाज ऑटो. सो ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू, जब आप कोई भी एग्जांपल दे रहे हो एंड यू नो कि अपलाइन कौन है इनका, you can always quote it and it will hit their heart that yes, this boy know or this girl know the exact thing कि हम करते क्या हैं और किसको किसके लिए कर. Making any sense if it is, क्योंकि मैंने किया है उसका ऑडिट, इंटरनल ऑडिट, सो आई नो अबाउट दैट कि वो किसी ना किसी को सेल करते हैं. ऑल ऑफ दैट दे मैन्युफैक्चर.
Got it.
इफ यू गेट टू नो कहीं से भी, that will be an added advantage to your interview.
Right. Pragya,
And
non-rankers.
secondly,
Yes, please. Yeah.
yes, I would like to add, secondly, getting connected with the employees through LinkedIn is very, very important. During my time, I like literally messaged all the people who are available on LinkedIn, like who are part of PFC, and many of them are my seniors currently. They knew me through LinkedIn only. And even if you get lucky, they'll help you with the questions. And I was like, even though I did not take the interview for Gale, but there was an employee with whom I got connected. And later on, I got to know that his boss was supposed to take the interview. And he did give me some insights. Like, these are the things that you have to get prepared because my boss is going to ask these questions from you. So that would completely help. But that totally depends how polite you are. If you're not like literally nagging with them, but you have to be like having a cool face. Some of them won't reply, but some of them are very good enough. They would reply and they'll help you out during the interview.
Got it. Great. So Pranav, you have been spend almost 3 years of journey in PSU. Any pro tip for the candidates sitting for the interview for PSU or any general trip for the candidates even they are not sitting for PSU? कुछ ऐसा बता दो यार, हमारा सिलेक्शन हो जाए, हम लोग को पार्टी मिल जाए यार.
I think most of the time which I usually, even जो resume interview and mock interview होता है तो उसमें मैं candidate को ये एक बोलता हूँ that ना one thing which Busra very well mentioned that the smile or having a good presentation or having a good posture, that's very important. And एक जो which I say is that whichever company you are appearing, make the interviewer feel that you have studied about that company and you want to join that company in real sense, and you must have 1 or 2 reason for that why PSU. आप just यहाँ पे इंटरव्यू का प्रैक्टिस करने आए हो, you are really willing to join the company. वो एक फील होता है जो आपको इंटरव्यूअर को देना है that you want to join. PSUs के तो एक वो रहता है कि you just show them that you are okay with the transfers and you are okay with traveling the any part of India, that will work. For any other company, जो मैं बोलता हूँ that always have a differentiator for you, because आपके पहले उसने 10 कैंडिडेट का इंटरव्यू लिया, आपके बाद वो 20 का लेगा. What is that one factor due to which you will be remembered या आपको differentiate करे? So people usually say that मैं प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग में अच्छा हूँ, मैं एनालिटिकल में बढ़िया हूँ, आई हैव अ गुड कम्युनिकेशन. तो वो चीजें यूजुअली उतना लास्ट नहीं करती है. इंटरव्यू तो सब लोग बोलते हैं ना, टाइम मैनेजमेंट अच्छा है, ये डेडलाइन वगैरह मीट करना, सभी लोग बोलते हैं. तो मैं जिससे भी मैं बात करता हूँ, मैं थोड़ा बोलता हूँ कि आप टेक्निकल साइड को थोड़ा पकड़ लो, कि आप टेक्निकली बहुत साउंड हो, है ना. कि आपको जैसे कोई भी अगर फ्रंट एंड मतलब कोई भी अकाउंटिंग रोल के लिए होगा तो उसको डेटा के साथ डेटा क्रंचिंग या डेटा एनालिसिस वाला काम काफी रहेगा. कोई भी एक अगर आप इंडस्ट्री में डालो तो एमआईएस का काम काफी रहता है. सीएस वर्क इन बिजनेस फाइनेंस, जहाँ पे वो डेटा को इंटरप्रेट करके जो इनसाइट्स निकालना, तो वो वाला काम रहता है. तो आई यूजुअली से दैट आप एक टेक्निकल स्किल को अपना पकड़ सकते हो. दैट कम्युनिकेशन वाइज तो आपको दिखाई दोगे दैट यू आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड आपका स्माइल अच्छा है, तो कम्युनिकेशन वाइज यू आर गुड. एंड टेक्निकल पार्ट जो आप ऐसे नहीं दिखा सकते, वो आप बोल के बता सकते हो दैट यू हैव बीन लर्निंग अबाउट द न्यू रिसेंट डेवलपमेंट इन फाइनेंस, जो ऑटोमेशन हो रहा है या रोबोटिक प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन है. आई कैन हेल्प योर कंपनी व्हेन आई कम इनटू योर कंपनी, कैन हेल्प improve your processes. I am very good at learning new things and I can help improve the processes and which can help you reduce time. तो मैं एक ये ऑटोमेशन पार्ट वाली चीज को थोड़ा फोकस करता हूँ कि आपको अगर पावर क्वेरी काफी अच्छे से आता है या आपको पावर बीआई, पावर ऑटोमेट जैसी टूल्स आते हैं, एंड यू नो व्हाट रोबोटिक प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन इज एंड हाउ इट कैन हेल्प एक्चुअल में कंपनीज को वर्क आवर्स रिड्यूस करने में. बिकॉज ट्रस्ट मी, अ लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज आर हायरिंग consultants like AT Kearney or maybe top level people who will help them reduce their man hours, because उनको फील होता है कि फाइनेंस में या एडमिन में काफी ऐसा काम हो रहा है जो एक आदमी को नहीं करना चाहिए, which can be automated. तो उसके लिए वो लोग ऑलरेडी हायर कर रहे हैं. So if the interviewer को वो आइडिया होगा कि उसका कंपनी ऑलरेडी ये काम हो रहा है, यू एज अ कैंडिडेट विल शोकेस कि मेरे को ये चीज पता है। आपको अगर इवन इफ यू आर नॉट अ प्रो बट यू आर लर्निंग, एटलीस्ट इफ यू से दिस थिंग, देन आई थिंक इट विल एक्ट एज अ डिफरेंशिएटर, एंड व्हेन यू आर एबल टू डिफरेंशिएट योरसेल्फ विद द अदर कैंडिडेट्स, दैट इज व्हेन योर चांसेस ऑफ getting selected increases. So that is one tip which I will give, so might work.
Got it. Perfectly
Just
fine.
adding to this point, जब आप बता रहे हो कि डेटा क्रंचिंग है मेरा प्लस पॉइंट, कुछ ना कुछ लिंक कर दो अपने आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस के साथ, सो उनको समझ जाएगा कि अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि डेटा क्रंचिंग, सो आई एम वैलिडेटिंग दैट थिंग, अगर ये है तो ये ऐसे है, दैट विल मेक मोर सेंस।
एंड जस्ट अ क्लैरिफिकेशन, डेटा क्रंचिंग मतलब वो नहीं होता कि आपका टाइपिंग स्पीड है, वो होता है डेटा एनालिसिस वाला पार्ट को आपको टच करना। डेटा एनालिसिस में आपको गिव मी लाइक 3-4 lakhs ऑफ रोज ऑफ एक्सेल टू ब्रिंग आउट सम इनसाइट्स की कॉस्ट क्यों बढ़ी है, कंपनी का रेवेन्यू क्यों घट रहा है, जीपी मार्जिन क्यों घट रहा है, टू गिव मी दीस थिंग्स टू एनालाइज, आई एम वेरी गुड एट दैट। वो एक पॉइंट को आपको हाईलाइट करना।
Got it. Great.
Someone is asking.
Yes. Last question, Padam. I would like to ask you regarding the online assessment test.
Yes,
Any tips?
that
Yeah.
I was going to tell. Actually, for the online assessment, power grid I have given. Mostly the accounts और अपने domain वाला चीज अपने को आएगा. That will be very easy. What we will not have is the English part and the mental ability and verbal test. वहाँ पे अपने को तकलीफ होगी. So either शिवम ने भी डाला है अपने साइट पे वो एबिलिटी टेस्ट के, अगर वो आप अपीयर कर पाओ तो दैट इज वेल एंड गुड, अदरवाइज कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, वहाँ पे ABCD खेलते रहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि सिंपल क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे, जो डोमेन रिलेटेड है वो बहुत सिंपल रहेंगे, यू वुड हैव द आंसर्स फॉर ईच एंड एवरीवन, बट द इंग्लिश दैट इज डिफिकल्ट, मीन्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट, हमने वो प्रैक्टिस छोड़ दिया, 10th के बाद हम इंग्लिश ऐसा एज अ होल सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा ही नहीं, सो दैट मेक्स डिफरेंस ओवर दैट। एंड दोज पीपल जो बाहर से आ रहे हैं, मीन्स ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ हम CAC जा रहे हैं वो इंटरव्यू दें, पीपल आर देयर फ्रॉम BCom कोर्सेज, फ्रॉम अदर इंजीनियरिंग साइड्स, उनको पता है कि यहाँ पे मेंटल एबिलिटी एंड वो इंग्लिश वाला पार्ट अच्छा है, सो दे आर स्ट्रॉन्ग एट 2 points एंड वीकनिंग एट 1 point, दैट इज कॉमर्स फील्ड वाला, एंड वी आर स्ट्रॉन्ग एट ओनली 1 point, दैट इज कॉमर्स फील्ड, सो हम उनसे थोड़े पीछे हो जाते। So you have to either give, I think 3 aptitude are there on the GIR batch.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So if you give the 3
You added
aptitude,
more.
that is more than enough.
Yes. Great. I think we tried to cover almost everything. प्रज्ञा पूछ रहे हैं कि अटेम्प्ट्स मैटर करता है क्या, मतलब अगेन रैंक तो नहीं है, आई थिंक बुशरा ऑलरेडी मेंशन आउट, अटेम्प्ट्स का तो आई
मुझे
डोंट
नहीं
नो।
पता बाकियों के कितने, मेरे 3 है, फिर भी I got 2 from campus only and 1 off campus.
Yes, so that is there. So I think we tried to cover everything out. Really thankful for joining in, Pranav and Bushra. I think और जिसको भी कोई भी queries रहेगा, you can put it over the comment section. We'll try to cover the same. Right? एक बार सभी से request है unmute करके and videos on करके एक बार round of applause for all the mentors out. Right? Request every one of you to please unmute and round of applause for all the mentors for giving their valuable time and feedback. Yes, I hope the section was helpful. Yes, lists of companies, ये सब हम शेयर देंगे Telegram group और WhatsApp group में. Guys, if you have missed earlier session or earlier part, you'll be able to check out the recording. Right? Thank you guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks to all the mentors out for joining in. Thanks Bushra, thanks Pranav, and thanks Padam for joining in.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Shivam. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Shivam.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye bye. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Bye, sir.